Honey, I'm home. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not married. Also, this isn't my house. But since you're here, I thought it might be a good time to show you my everyday drone backpack, being a fancy professional drone pilot. So let's throw this baby on the table and take a look at what's inside. And also mostly just the bag. Actually, it's a bag review. But we'll see what's inside by default. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome back to RC with Adam. My name is Adam, and today we're taking a look at this super sweet PyroDrone backpack. Now, this backpack is actually from about 1.5 years ago, so we're going to see how well it's held up. Now, there's actually a newer version out. I can't even remember the name of this backpack. It's probably not an amazing name. It's probably like the PyroDrone Backpack Pro something. So this is going to be a little bit different on the updated version, and I'll have links and pictures maybe to that. This is generally the same backpack. So here's the bottom line up front. If you're looking for a backpack that can carry, like, maybe not the kitchen sink, but like maybe a bathroom sink, it can carry like a lot of stuff. This is a fantastic backpack. We're going to open this up and I'm going to show you what's inside and give you an idea of what you can keep in there. Right after I tell you that today the sponsor for this video is none other than PCBWay. PCBWay makes custom printed circuit boards. That's what PCB stands for. So you can send them a circuit board file that you designed, and then they'll slap it together and do whatever they do to make circuit boards. And they've got all kinds of components that you can put on there, and they can even put it all together for you so that it's ready to rock and roll and beep and boop when it gets to your door. But if you're like me and you're not super into circuit boards, they also offer rapid prototyping services. So if you need something sheet metal machined or CNC machined or sheet metal bent or injection molded or 3D printed, you can get up with them and send them some files, and then they'll send you the finished product, and pretty quick and fast and fairly cheap, I think. So if you're interested in that, check them out down in the description below. Let's get into this backpack. First of all, on the outside of the backpack, we'll kind of work our way in, I guess. We've got, you know what, let's not do that, because that is always so annoying when people do that and they're like, oh, we'll work our way in, and it's like, you want to see what's inside? All right, I'm going to show you what's inside. Oh, look at that. So we have quite a few things in here. We've got, I think, 4 drones in here, technically all together. So that's what it looks like on the inside. We're going to get into that in a second, but first I'm just going to say on the outside what I've got. All right, so we got this big old zipper here, big old grab handle, which is really nice actually. Just in case you're interested in the stuff I carry as well, because like I said, it's a good backpack. If you want a backpack that carries a bunch of stuff, just buy it, do it. It's kind of heavy, but that's just how it goes. This is a flotation thing for this 7-inch quad. This is one of my new 7-inch quads right here. So you can strap it to the back. That's the main thing that we're talking about here, is the actual backpack itself. So you can strap a bunch of quads to the to this back piece here. It does have this kind of like molly webbing. That's what this type of webbing is called, which I haven't really utilized. I've mostly just used this bungee. The bungee itself is okay, but these cord locks are not great. They're pretty awful. They tend to slide, and so it's kind of hard to tighten everything down. So that's why I've sort of tied this off so I can get more bungee-ness. But you can hold a bunch of quads on the top. This is a 7-inch quad, so it's a bit bigger. We've got pockets here like that, and I've got a rainfly thing that I've been meaning to make and haven't made. First aid stuff. That's always important. That's an often overlooked item. You should really always have that. Same pocket on this side. This has a strap. I've forgotten about the strap. I never carry it like that, but that's okay. On the front, we have these 2 outside pockets. These are handy. I like to keep stuff that I'm going to be using frequently. Lens cleaning, memory cards, business cards, just little like adapters, stuff like that, mostly for like the Insta360 Go 2, which is what this is. So I just kind of keep those in there. And if you guys are interested in like a full breakdown of stuff I carry, maybe we'll do that. So leave me a comment below. But mostly I just want to kind of show you the features of this backpack. In here we've got a whole bunch of other stuff that I use frequently. So those are the 2 main pockets. Swing this around to the back. We've got a grab handle, which is nice. We have 2 more compression straps. And then we have this long pouch, and this is good for like holding maybe a tripod or something. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. I put my GoPro chest mount, orange vest or neon vest, some gloves, you know, just different stuff. And on the very top, assuming it's back around, on the very top, we've got a pouch, kind of like a laptop pouch or a laptop container or section. And so we've got, actually, look at that. I've got a quad in here. And so that's a cool thing is we have this kind of top portion, and you can fit, I guess it's got this thing, which, is this for clothes? I think that's for clothes or something. I don't know. It looks like suspenders, so it's probably for clothes. But then I've got a little 5-inch quad here. I really like this baby. It's been a very faithful servant. Why is that wire sticking out? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But then we've got flotation for that as well. And then we've got like a sleeve. I guess that is where your laptop would go. I'm not crazy about having the laptop be like on the very outermost part of the backpack though, because like that's what's going to get banged around. In any case, you can put whatever you want in there. We've got some mesh. But yeah, I usually like to put one of my quads in here, as long as your quad is kind of flat. And so that's kind of a thing, is I like to have the flat quads as opposed to antennas and stuff sticking out, which, you know, there's trade-offs there. But that's going to be a good spot to keep it ready and accessible, and you can have their props on there, but you're going to keep the dust out. So I do like that very much. So opening this thing up, right now let me give you the downsides of this backpack, because mostly it's like a positive thing. Obviously, if you don't want a giant backpack, don't get this backpack, because it's giant and kind of heavy because of that. But the downside, one of the big downsides, is there is a handle on this side. The newer one has a different type of handle, and it has it, I think, more towards the back part of the backpack, like the part that's going to be against your back. But this one has a grab handle here, which feels pretty sturdy. I haven't had any straps break or anything, but it's got one here. It does not have one on this side. This is basically the bottom of the backpack. It has this strap, or this attachment point for a shoulder strap. But like, let's be real. When are you going to put this on your shoulder? It's huge. So I really wish they had a handle here on the opposite side, because usually I have to grip it from the bottom, and it's more likely to slip out or whatever. But there's kind of a rigid like plastic panel here, and so I'm kind of able to grip under that and kind of move the pack around, because that's what happens a lot if you're going in and out of vehicles or just wherever, or you just need to pick up your pack and move it over a little bit. You want to be able to like pick it up, and it'd be nice to have 2 grab handles to do that. Or if you need to like grab it and slide it, I don't know, getting it out of a vehicle, it's kind of hard to grab it from this side. And then the other thing, opening up the backpack, I do wish that there were little like attachment things, like a little string or, you know, webbing, so that you could have this top piece like sitting upright as opposed to just falling over. And the way that these pockets are, if these pockets are open and you have this fall this way, this stuff is going to fall out. So on the top of the pack right here, we've got our kind of propeller section, because it's this larger piece and it's clear so you can see what's in there. This seems like pretty durable, or so far it has been durable plastic. I kind of thought that it would be like that like crinkly plastic that gets really hard, you know, and breaks apart, but it seems like it's been okay so far. And you know, just a ton of props, like too many props in here. I need to narrow these down and fly some and test some out. So that's why there've been so many in there. I'm not even going to bother taking them out. But this is a good thing for props, because you can see what you got in there. And then we've got 2 mesh pouches with zippers. On this top one, I like to put kind of my, well, it kind of turned into a whole bunch of different stuff, but generally like cables, almost kind of audio video stuff. Well, I do put straps, battery straps, spare parts, nuts, bolts. I guess just kind of generally, maybe just a general purpose random pouch. This one, I've got all my ND filters for the GoPro. and for the Insta360 Go 2, which I don't really use very much because usually the Insta360 Go 2 is for kind of like behind the scenes stuff or secondary stuff. So I've got all these ND filters, and most of these, or I think all of these, are camera butter filters. I really like camera butter filters. I've been meaning to do a review on those ones for a long time. But basically the review would just be, they're good filters. You should probably buy them if you like ND filters. Review over. So that's the top part, and then we get into, basically it's just a big bathtub, and it has all these dividers, and there's a lot of orange. If you don't like orange, you probably shouldn't get this backpack. It has these dividers, and actually here are 2 extra ones that I have not used. These are kind of heavy. One of these panels, 109 grams. This panel, 114 grams. Together they weigh 215 grams. That's like as much as a quadcopter. They've got foam padding and plastic in there, and then of course this elastic on there and Velcro on like 3 sides. So they're actually pretty heavy, which makes this whole backpack quite heavy by itself. I think it's like at least a couple pounds, like by itself. It might be like 4 pounds or something. Anyway, but that's basically the main thing, is that you don't have specific compartments. I mean, you get to make specific compartments. So there's all kinds of these dividers and stuff. So let me just take you through what I have in here to give you an idea of what this can fit. So starting here at the bottom where I have the heaviest items, we've got my LiPo battery bag, which it just has a bunch of batteries in here, but in case you're curious what's in here, I'll show you. Oh, I know you want to see it. All right, so there, a bunch of batteries. I need to, actually I need to get more batteries, but I also need to get another battery bag so I don't have all the batteries in one bag. And I 3D printed these little XT60 covers, and that's pretty fun. Right there. So now everything won't catch on fire as much, likely. So that's a good thing. Let me zip that back up, just to contain all that LiPo goodness, make sure none of it leaks out. Okay, so we have that on the bottom. Here we've got DJI FPV goggles, version 2, I think, or the older, older ones, whatever. We've got some DIY face thing on there. I don't think I have a video on that yet. We'll have to talk about that in another video. Anyway, you can fit them in there. You can fit in here. I've got my Mavic Air 2, which right now is kind of my go-to, photography, photo, video, smart drone thing, whatever. I just keep it in its little on-the-go case because it just is so convenient. You can fit that in there. That's the point. And we've got some flotation because, drowning is not an option, folks. And then I've got 3 pouches, or 3 sections right here. I've got all my GoPro stuff. I've got ND filters. I've got this cage. I've got 3 GoPros. One is the new Hero 11 battery, 360 camera, accessories. We got everything you need. More ND filters, which I'm playing with these ones. These are Freewell ND filters. These are for the GoPro. Nope, that's that's a camera butter filter that I just put in there. This is one of the filters, and these are polarized, and so they have this little polarizing ring. But I think they make rainbows, so I need to play around with that. Anywho, they fit in there. And then here I've got, I don't know if you can see this super well, but I've got some zip ties, lighter, extra thumb screw, more zip ties, super glue, razor knife, little like kind of tools and stuff, some extra sticky tape. In this little pouch. Yeah, I think 2 of the divider sections have this little pouch, and they have a little Velcro pouch. So in here I've got some of my other camera gear. So I've got an ND filter for that camera that I'm using to film right now, battery, lens pen, and then I've got the little Flywoo Cinerace 20 or 25. I think it's 20. And I'm not crazy about this thing, to be honest with you. I think I need to get something different, something that flies a bit better. I'm not crazy about the ducts. It's very high pitched, but I don't know. It does okay. I've chased some kids with it, so it works pretty well. The lights are cool on there. Anyway, okay. So, so you got a little pouch there, and then we got the TX16S radio, which is pretty just monstrously large, but, it's a good quality radio. And so that's kind of what I've been using for now. And that fits right in there. And so that's kind of how I have it. I kind of have my heavier things. Well, I guess that's pretty heavy. But I have the radio at the top so that it's less likely to get, like, I don't know, I guess banged against the ground. Of course, probably having the batteries at the bottom to get banged against the ground isn't great either. So anyway, and you get a whole bunch of these divider panels, and these are like rigid plastic with foam on either side of the rigid plastic, and they just Velcro in place, and ta-da, and there you go. So you can configure this however you want. What I really like about this is just it becomes like kind of like your workspace, because you can put the bag down and then just, you know, open it up. Again, I don't like how this flops down because it flops down at an angle, so you can't really even set anything like on it. So it'd be really cool if this could kind of like, I don't know, if you could have like little legs come out and like prop this up, or just have straps to like hold this upright, something like that. But it's definitely nice having it like this. Or you can have it, if you could have it upright to keep the sun off of your stuff while you're you know, working on things, that would be cool. Anyway, but that kind of gets more into sort of like your functional setup of how you like integrating the backpack into your workflow when you're actually out flying and doing stuff. So, is there anything, did I miss anything? So there you go. That's basically it. Like I said, it's basically just a bathtub with some dividers. You got some stuff here, different pockets. I haven't thoroughly checked out the newer version of this, but I'll have a link to that down in the description below this video. I believe it's still available right now on PyroDrone.com. PyroDrone did not send me this bag or anything. I paid for it, and I've been using this for about a year and a half. I think it was just after Rotor Riot Rampage. May 2021 or something is when I got this. And so now it is October 2022. And so you do the math, but I've had this for a while and it's really, really paid off. It's kind of expensive. I think I paid like $150 for it at the time or something, 180, something like that. But it's definitely worth it because I love having, so I can have all kinds of different quads, batteries, all this different stuff all in one bag, and I can just grab the bag. And like, I'm getting to the point where really I can't even fit everything just in this bag, and it's getting so heavy that it's heavy right now, and then you got the batteries and other quads, so it probably weighs like 35 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. I haven't really weighed it, but it sure feels pretty heavy. So keep that in mind. I will put in some shots, if I haven't already, of me wearing this thing. Now, I'm a pretty slim guy, very slim guy. So for me, it might look like this backpack is really big. It is a large backpack, but I'm just also, you know, not a gigantic person. For me, it does kind of sit a little low, like it's quite long. So it kind of hits like the bottom of my back, kind of where my belt is, which can be kind of annoying. But if you're not carrying this long distances, that doesn't really even matter. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, go out there and fly something, do some awesome stuff, and I will see you again very soon.
We get bars in our goggles that show